All right, we're going to go over rethinking a breakup in relationship, especially after a divorce or a long-term thing. And I'm going to give you my 2 cents, and here's what you need to know. Sadie, would you like to come outside? No? Stay in the dirty house. See you later. All right. So, new client just got off a really good call, and client's situation is 20 years of marriage. God decided to leave, okay? And whatever we as human beings choose to leave a relationship, it's usually because we feel like our needs are not being met. Whether that decision is a long-term thought or something that you recently kind of figured out, that is your decision to leave. Yes, hi Charlie, I see you too. And that is totally valid. Your emotions are always valid. But the situation that we kind of work through is having these emotional upheavals or emotional withdrawals. I always tell new clients, I say, emotion is energy in motion. It's the most important concept that I teach people, whether we're working on their business or recovering their personal power after a relationship or some sort of shift or change in their life. Emotion is just energy in motion. And your energy and your emotion in your body will eventually start to affect you physically, right? Your biography becomes your biology on a cellular and molecular level. And there's medical intuitives out there. My favorite is Carolyn Miss, who has written a bunch of books, who specifically talks about the physical ailments that start to affect people as they go throughout their lives. And there's different ailments and different things associated with different traumatic events in our lives. Fascinating stuff. I can't really teach you all of that in 5 minutes. It would take a few hours. But in this situation, when your emotion gets stuck in your body, right? When energy gets stuck in your body, it will start to wreak havoc, and it will start to affect you by keeping your body in a fight or flight sensation all the time, releasing adrenaline and cortisol. Cortisol is released to help adrenaline kind of have a longer half-life, and it extends the amount of adrenaline for your body. But you can't be in that sympathetic state all of the time. Eventually you have to go into rest and digest, or use your parasympathetic nervous system in order to rest and recover and repair. And when your emotion, your energy is stuck in your body and it's not being channeled appropriately, your energy systems will drain over time. You'll have no energy. You'll be lethargic. You'll be snappy. You won't have a good attention span. You're going to be irritable. You're going to be tired, and it will affect you like physically all over your body, right? Your hair will start to fall out or turn gray. You're going to get more wrinkles. This naturally happens as we age. Totally fine. That's a different conversation. But if we can limit this, we should learn about this, right? And when we get out of relationships, what happens mostly for guys, if we're the ones doing the breakup, and I can speak on this from my 2 cents, I originally broke up with my fiance because she was just treating me poorly, and I couldn't take it anymore. We tried working through it, and I said, I can't do this. I'm not being treated well enough, and I feel like I'm doing all that I can. So I left. A couple months later, I tried to get that relationship back, and at that point she was still very hurt and very angry, and we never got back, but we kind of talked our way through it over the following couple months, and eventually just agreed to part ways, and that was a healthy outcome to that. But guys tend to view long-term relationships as investments, right? The time, the money, the houses, the places that we went, all of the quality time that we spent, all of the time thinking about that person and caring for their needs. So guys will view long relationships as investments, and those investments eventually become assets because we hope that they bring a return on our investment. So when guys lose an asset, we tend to overthink that, which is primarily why guys will come back to a relationship and try to repair it, because men are fixers. We want to fix things. But it's mostly predicated on our ego and our emotion, because we see that investment was a huge loss for us. Now we're feeling the void of that, and now we don't have that asset, and that asset is no longer bringing a return on our investment, our time, our money, the places that we went, the trips that we took, and all the things that we did together. This is why guys will come back after a long-term relationship, and something that you should consider. But in this situation, I told this new client, I said, hey man, you need to understand and recognize when your ego is trying to bring you back to that relationship. Stop talking to her, right? She's probably a little bit humiliated because she just went through a divorce of 20 years, and now she's suffering a little bit of humiliation. And of course she's moved on because nobody wants to feel humiliated. This is why people move on really quick after divorces and relationships. Maybe they are ready for it, or maybe there's an aspect of humiliation that's saying, I'm this age and I don't want to be single, and that kind of puts people out there before they're ready. Maybe, I don't know. I can't speak for everybody. But in my case, that's something I've noticed that I've done, and other people who I've dated have also done. So, in culmination, understand that your emotions are just energy in motion. You have to find a way to give it an avenue, whether it's meditation, whether it's sitting in a dark room for an hour just with your thoughts and letting yourself be overwhelmed from it. Emotions primarily stick in our body for about 17 to 20 minutes on average. So don't fight it. Don't distract yourself. Don't try to dissuade from it. Don't try to busy yourself from having that emotion. Feel it. Feel it all the way to the bottom, and then give it an out, whether it's journaling, meditating, breath work, cold plunges, exercise. You have to give energy an outlet for your body, whether it's positive or it's negative, because energy is neither created nor destroyed. You just have to find a way to transmute it so it doesn't affect your biology on a cellular and molecular level. Okay? See you guys in the next one. Please book a call if you want to know more about this, because if I can change the way that you view relationships, and if you got to the end of this video, 6 minutes, this will change your life. Okay? I'd love to teach this to you. It's pretty profound. All right? See you guys in the next one.